All right, hey, what's going on, guys? So it's been a few days since I uploaded. I've been kind of busy with other stuff, so I haven't been able to upload. Plus everything that I got to repair is just pretty much, like iPhone 14, back glass and battery, simple, straightforward stuff that I really don't want to upload because I don't feel like it's content that it's going to be something that you haven't seen before. I try to put out fresh content and not the same thing over and over again. Okay. So what we have in for repair today is my personal controller, and what we're doing is we're installing these new. Um, these are the actual Hall effect sensor joystick. Or you get two in this package. I just ordered these. I'm trying to see how they're going to work compared to my other whatever I got connected up right now. I'm going to show you guys the actual analog stick that's on my controller so you guys can get an idea of how bad the stick drift is on this controller, and then we'll go ahead and we will do the repair. Okay, so first thing is first, let's hook this up to our computer, and that way we can see what's going on here. All right, I did take the battery out, and I need to connect back up the actual Okay, so there we go. We have the controller connected up. And let's go over here to our window and let's see if the gamepad tester sees it. Okay, so there we go. Gamepad tester does see the controller, and we're moving the, you can see the actual stick, it's moving. Um, I thought I had a better, let's go over here. There was one that you could actually test these analog sticks a little bit better just to see what's going on with them. Let's see. And you can kind of see on this one that it's moving a little bit. See, it's stuck right now, so it's moving. Is there any other testers out there? I know there's a few other ones out there. I can't remember. Let me see if I can pull one up. Give me 1 second. That seems like the same one. There was one I used all the time to test my controllers for stick drift. I think it's this one, but okay, here we go. Okay, so there you can kind of see it's not super bad on here, but when you're playing the game, it does get worse, right? So it definitely gets worse. See that? That's not too bad. But as see, now both of them is doing it. So as you're playing the game, this thing gets really, really bad. So let's test this and see what we got. That's okay. 2.4, 2.5, that's not bad. But you can see the stick drift. In a game, this is going way over here. It doesn't look that bad right now, but I promise you, when you're playing the games and you're using this, it gets really bad. So we're gonna go ahead and uh, we're gonna replace this, and then we're gonna test it again to see what kind of results we get from this. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's get into this video. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and take the back off this over here. So we disconnected that. Let's also take the vibrating motors out real quick if we can here. And if I remember correctly, I think I did change these already, and it came back because they were still stick drift. They weren't as bad as before. Nope. So it doesn't look like I did because these still look pretty solid here. Okay, let's put that off to the side. Why do I feel like I'm having such a hard time taking this thing apart where normally zipping through it? It's my day off today. Usually I don't work today. And I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get this controller done. So let's get it underneath the microscope. Here we are underneath the microscope. And we can use low melt, but I'm not going to use low melt. I'm going to use this right now. And just to help this a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hot air station. Got a little lizard on my desk. I don't know why these little guys keep coming in here, but they just keep on coming in. Okay, we need a board holder. We'll just do it like this. Yeah, that's not going to work out very well. Let's get a board holder that we can use to. I don't know if I have one that's going to work really well in this kind of situation. That's not going to work. Let's see if we can use this one. And maybe we can hold the board like that. No. These things are very awkward to find a board holder for. That much I can tell you. Okay, guess that will work. And we're just going to change both sticks. It only makes sense for me to just change both instead of just changing one of them. I might as well just change both of them. I'm not sure if that's really actually helping. Hold on. What is this? Okay, so you guys are not seeing what's going on underneath the microscope. Right now, it doesn't really matter what's going on underneath the microscope. I will though go ahead and get that up and running, but right now it's not super important what's going on underneath the microscope. All right, over the desk is pretty good for what we're trying to do. I'm going to turn the air up. Okay, let's do this side also. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to actually use some flux, because if not, I think this job is going to be a lot more complicated than I expected. So maybe if I just heat it up a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat up. Not that much. I turned the heat up to 300 and airflow of 52. You would think that this board would be a lot easier, but it's not. Now I could use low melt, which would probably definitely make this a lot easier. But I think I remember the last time I used low melt, what ended up happening was I melted too much. I used too much of it, and then I tore some pads. So no more low melt when I'm doing these. I love using this for these kind of jobs. You can use this on like a game console, especially if it's being a pain for you to clean the holes out. This is perfect for that. And that looks great. Okay. I use 425 with, I believe it was 120 air. It's still hot. Oh, and that's melted right out. Look at that. That one is just completely melted out. So we still have this other side to do. This other side is still kind of stuck in there. Okay, I think that should be good. Maybe this side will just come right out too, because it's melted. Nope. I didn't think it would melt that bad, but I guess so. Still so hot, man. All right, let's look underneath the microscope and see if we got all these holes cleared. If not, then that's probably what's happening to us right now. Okay, let's turn this down and let's look. This one is not cleared. So we got a few that's not cleared. So let's get some flux over here and let's go back over some of these holes. Okay, there we go, I think. Still hot. Gotta let it cool down a little bit and then we'll see if we can get this thing out. It's super hot. Let's look again. Still the same hole that's kind of clogged up. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can still pull it without pulling any pads. But that's what you really have to worry about, is pulling pads. All right, let me try to... This one is so stubborn. I'm kind of melting that plastic. If you guys look, that black plastic is kind of melting. Right here. On the side over here, it's kind of melting. All right, I think I can get it out. I think. Nope. Still hot. Still hot. It's hot and I'm trying to work on it, trying to get as much done as I can while it's. Do we knock some components off over here? No, all of those look normal. All of those look normal. All right. We need gloves. We need gloves. It's so hot. Just trying to see if I can slowly kind of just rock it till it comes all the way out. There we go. And I'm going to be careful with this side because obviously this pin never got out, never came up. So we're going to, for the hole for the pin, there's a resistor right there. All right, let's see if our iron can get the rest of this out. That way we're not damaging. Nope. Okay, that's done. Now, what's next is this one. These two. So we're gonna do the same thing. This is one of the reasons why I don't like doing these for customers is these can be a real like pain. And I mean, what am I gonna charge someone to do something like this that I'm running the chance of damaging their controller? And maybe maybe with a little bit more practice, I might be a little bit better at it. But how much time do I want to spend, you know, repairing these controllers like this? All right, let's get this. We don't even really have to remove that because it's not going to affect anything. We just need to clear this hole. You guys probably can't see this part, but I have to. Okay, there we go. I had to get it from underneath the microscope in order to do it. So we're going to turn off our that tool that I was just using. Okay, and the only thing we have left is all this blue stuff. So what I would do is, in a case like this, is let's actually put it on a board holder now. It only makes more sense now that I can to put it on a board holder. So let's do that first. Let's get it on here. Just like that. And then what we'll do is we'll get the heat, and I'm just going to use my screwdriver. And I'm just going to, as soon as it gets up to temp, I'll be able to scrape like that. And then remove my heat. Do it again. Remove my heat. Until it's all gone, just like that. Because I really didn't think the plastic would melt like that. Just being honest with you guys. But since it did, and I want to kind of clean it up, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? And like I said, this is not really going to break the controller or anything like that. So if you run into this issue and you're doing this for yourself, it's like a DIY project for you, you don't have to stress about all of this stuff. Just keep on, you know, pushing on, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, so there we go. We've removed all that stuff. We can clean up the board a little bit, but there's not much to clean up. And here we go. We have our analog sticks. These are the Hall sensor analog sticks. So if you look on the side of these right here, you can see they're completely different from this one. They have a sensor inside here, okay? So what we'll do is we'll set these in place and make sure. This is one thing that you want to make sure happens is when you put these down, make sure that they're seated flat. Okay, you have to make sure that they're seated flat. If not, then you're going to run into an issue when you go to put the controller back together with like the sticks just not, you know, like it's just not lining up. No matter what you do, it's just not sitting in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my board holder, and what I want to do is these four corners, those four corners, I want to make sure I solder those in. Okay, those are important. That's what holds the controller, the main part of the analog stick in place is those four corners. So I want to make sure that those are in. Let's use this side. Okay, I'm gonna double check it, make sure they're still sitting flush, and then I'm just gonna move this off to the side, and then from here, double checking again, and then we'll go ahead and we'll solder the next one in like that. And then once you got those ones in, the rest is easy from there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to this side over here. This side is a little bit more loose, so because of that, I'm going to pay more attention to a little bit more attention after soldering each of the main posts in place. Okay, so I'm going to push it down one more time. Get this on camera for you guys. There. And if you notice, I'm going across instead of up and down. That way, I know that. So there we go. So this one is crooked. You can see that. This side is more down, is up compared to the other side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to go back to our board holder. And what you want to do in a situation like this is make sure you know what side it is. So I know that it's over here. So I'm going to get it in here. And I'm going to push down on it and solder. And there we go. You see that? That's what you want, okay? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and let's make connection with, let's solder all the rest of the pins in now. And then we'll just clean up this board. Let's do the other side. And I think what I heard is there's an actual software that's available for to recalibrate these, and it's part of the gamepad tester. I haven't used it yet, and maybe if once I'm done here, maybe tomorrow or something like that, I might download that software and go ahead and test it and see how it works, and then kind of come back to you guys and let you guys see what happens. Because I think they said that even after you change the analog sticks, because in the factory it's programmed a certain way, you have to go back and do it, recalibrate it, I should say. You just have to recalibrate it. It doesn't matter what you do, it's just what you got to do. Okay. All right. So there we go. My hands on fluxy. So let's get our toothbrush here. if we can find it. All right, so we got to heat this up a little bit to get the flux going, and then we can brush it away. So that's how you get the flux to go away. Just heat it up a little bit and then come back and just wipe it away. You can use your toothbrush and just kind of brush it away. That works too, but right now I can't find it. It's somewhere over here on my messy desk. But we're okay with just wiping it away. All right. Maybe we're not completely okay with it because it still looks kind of like greasy. I don't like that greasy look. All right, so I got a button. This one is okay. Okay, that's fine. You shouldn't make all of them like this, where they're kind of little hills. It's good. So try your best to make them like that. Like I said, this is my personal controller, so I'm not really stressing over any of that stuff. It's okay. It's stuff that I can live with. But if this was for a customer, it'd be a little bit different because I'd be more worried about, you know, like if something is not going to work properly, the customer's going to come back and then I'm going to have to do the whole thing all over again, which I don't like to do the job twice. It's kind of like to get it done and over with. Like, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe there's other guys out there with shops and they don't like when the job comes back as like a warranty repair. I don't like that. Sure, there's guys out there that don't mind it, but rather customer leave the first time and be happy and just say, hey, I went to this guy, did a great job. That's it. Doesn't always work out like that, but that's what I strive for. Okay, and get this back in place. Put the screws back. Okay, let's solder the actual vibrator. Yeah, the board looks disgusting. I would definitely have to buy an ultrasonic cleaner for this because I would not want this leaving my shop like this. I've done a few different controllers. I've done like some mods. I've done like the scuff controllers when the R1 or R2 button goes out, which are like switches. I've done those before also. So I got a video of that. If you guys are wondering about like the scuff controller, you got a scuff controller and it's stick drifting, or you want to upgrade your scuff controller to get one of these new analog sticks. That's also that's a plus for those scuff controllers. Maybe they do have them now on the scuff controllers. I'm not sure, but that would definitely be an added bonus to your scuff controller game. And we need our other analog. Where's the other one? Other one. Did it fall off our desk? Maybe. Might have fell. Found it. Try not to rip that ribbon cable. We're putting this thing back together. I got a whole bunch of ribbon cables though, because like I said, I used to want to repair these for a while, and then after doing a few for myself, I was like, this is not fun. You know, not a fun repair. It's not like, you know, a motherboard level repair where you have to try to solve an issue with a motherboard. It's not like that. As you guys can see from the video. Okay. And we're just kind of putting it back together. So I can show you over the desk, just kind of putting it back together now. Gotta plug this up. Alright, so now let's test this and see what the results are after. Okay, so let's go back here and let's plug up the controller. That's not it. Not sure why it's not connecting up now. Now it doesn't want to read the controller, and I know nothing is broken on it. This is one of the pain of dealing with these controllers. Batteries connected. No, we should be reading this controller now. Alright, so what could be causing this issue? I don't want to have to... Let's see if it's this. I mean, the charging port is loose, but I don't want to mess with that. I'd rather just mess with over here. Maybe just that wasn't plugged all the way in. I found that to be the problem a few times. It's not plugged all the way in and it causes problems. That's not the case. It feels so much different from the regular ones. It's crazy. Okay. So the issue might just be the charging port is damaged. And I have to replace it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's so loose. I'm not even sure if I have, I know I have charging ports. I'm not sure if it's the right one that I have for this. Uh, 982-982-708. And this is a drawer filled with those analog sticks. Like I said before, I was gonna try to repair them and it just, no. And it's little things like this one right now that's why I was like, no. And you might think that maybe I burnt the chip that's on the board. But no. Nope, that's not what the issue is either. Okay, so there's a different charging port. We're just gonna pull this port from where it's at. And let's try this one. Let's see if it sees it. Nope, because I don't have the light. Yeah, I have a light on here, which it's not lighting up. Cable's not lighting up. Maybe just the cable. Let's switch this out for a different. These are Type A. I don't know what these are called actually. Let's find a different one though, and let's test that and see if that solves this. Because I have found at times that this long, super long cable that I'm using doesn't work. Even though it worked the first time, let's see. Let's just test. Yep, cable. The cord is the issue. All right, we're still waiting on this thing to. So I am getting a light on it now. With the other cable, I'm getting a light. Okay. You can see it right there. Let me make sure that you guys are able to see it. When I plug it up at first, all over there. When I plug it up, you can barely see the light, but it's blinking, so that's good. So that means that the issue is the cable. So I do believe this controller is working. And like I said, I think tomorrow I'll probably do a longer video, and that way I can better go over what happened. I'm just kind of rushing through it just to get back to gaming. Because I just got these today. And I was like, why not just record a video on it? Because if not, I would just, work on this off camera. And then I'm sure someone would ask, like, hey, do you work on, controllers? I've already had someone on Facebook ask me, and I said no because I don't. But I'll show you guys a video just in case you have your own controller and you want to work on it. You can, watch the video, work on it, and possibly fix your controller yourself. Like I said, it's not that it's a hard job. It's more of just like an annoying job. Where it's like all these little complications. Like you don't have the right cable or something like that, then run into those issues. So I'm just popping these screws back in because I think that it's going to work. Even though I can't test it to show you guys, maybe tomorrow I'll test it and show you guys. I want to show you tonight, but not sure if it's going to work. Okay, so let's keep a few of these windows open. Let's close down some of these windows and let's see if we can get it working. So with the other charging port, it was actually giving some kind of indication. This one is not doing anything at all. It feels so much better though. And it's possible that I burned the chip. Possible that I got the board too hot. But you know what, guys? I'm going to leave this here. I think this is like my third failed video that I've uploaded. But regardless, I think it's working. Is this frozen? Regardless, I think this controller is going to work. I'm going to test it later on and tomorrow and see what's going on with it. And if I get a different result, then I'll post it and show you guys that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.